Hey there, fellow aviators. Let's talk holds. What is a hold? How do you enter one? And how do you figure that out in the airplane? This video is going to answer all those questions and more, so let's dive in. Holding procedures are one of the most mysterious and challenging aspects of instrument flying. There's a lot going on. It usually isn't explained well during training, and because you're only required to perform one every 6 months, it isn't practiced enough. Let's talk about why you would even need to hold in the first place. Sometimes ATC needs to create spacing to sequence you into the traffic flow better, so they'll hold you somewhere before allowing you to move on. Other times, the weather at your destination isn't very good, so you'll hang out for a bit and see if it gets better. And sometimes there's disruptions at the airport that require you to hold for a little while until you're allowed to land at your airport. Whatever the reason may be, ATC has to give you a place to hold that keeps you safe from obstacles and other airplanes. Think of it as this little block of airspace that's your safe space. To stay in your safe space, the standard is to make right turns. This lines up with everything else in aviation that keeps the right wing on the safe side. But sometimes airspace boundaries or obstacles make right turns dangerous, so in those cases, you'll make left turns. This holding pattern for the VOR approach into Reno is a great example. There are taller mountains on the right you can hit, so you make left turns instead. Now you can be coming from any direction to start this hold, so the FAA has given us 3 different procedures to choose from: direct, teardrop, and parallel. Let's use that hold for Reno to help us out. We're holding on the 41-degree radial, so if you move 70 degrees in the direction of the turn and draw a straight line across the holding fix, anything on this side of that line would be a direct entry. This one is usually pretty easy to understand because you can immediately turn outbound and be in your little racetrack pattern. But if you're coming from anywhere on the other side of that line, you won't be able to enter the holding pattern directly. So now you have to choose from teardrop or parallel. Take your inbound course and extend the line across the holding fix. If you're anywhere in this small portion of the pie, you would perform a teardrop entry. You'll cross the fix, fly outbound to the point, which I call the X, then turn inbound, which looks like a teardrop. But if you're over here in this big chunk of the pie, doing a teardrop entry would cause you to make a very sharp turn, which we don't want to do in instrument flying. So instead, we cross the fix and fly outbound parallel to our inbound course, turn towards the protected side, and intercept our inbound course at a 45-degree angle. But you're not drawing out this picture in the airplanes. I'm going to show you a few tricks to make it simple. We'll stick with the Reno scenario and say that you're over here and inbound to the Mustang VOR on a heading of 010. Take a pen or pencil and lay it flat across your heading indicator like this. Then lift the side of the pen in the direction of your turn and holding by 20 degrees. In this case, it's left turn, so we'll raise the left side. Now look for your outbound heading on the outside of your heading indicator. If that outbound heading is down here, you perform a direct entry. Our outbound heading is here at 41 degrees, so direct isn't an option. If the outbound heading is between your pencil and your current heading in that small piece of the pie, perform a teardrop entry. Our outbound heading is 41 degrees over here in the big piece of the pie, so we need to perform a parallel entry. Once you feel really confident with this, we're going to get rid of the pencil and use our thumbs instead. Again, we'll use our right thumb for right turns and left thumb for left turns. Our holding pattern is left turns, so take your left thumb and put it on the heading indicator like this. Imagine your pencil line extending across the heading indicator underneath your thumb. Everything below the line is direct, underneath your thumb is teardrop, and to the right of it is parallel, which again shows we perform a parallel entry in this scenario. But advanced instrument pilots and professional pilots aren't putting their thumbs on the heading indicator to figure out their holding entries. So once you've mastered the thumb trick, simply look at the heading indicator, imagine where your thumbs would be, and voila. I know holds are confusing, so I hope this made it a little simpler and increased your understanding. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos. Happy flying. I'll see you next time.